Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome aboard the Max Afterburner podcast, sponsored, powered by the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, No Fallen Heroes LLC. Man, deep breath. Well, first of all, talk about, I got my Maverick Mind hoodie on. Chad and Mental Joe sent, it says fights on the sleeve. Man, these things are epic. Let's start with that. So, Chad, my brother, thank you. Very well done. I'm seeing these all over the internet. If you got one of these, make sure you post it. You tag the foundation. These things are great. So if you didn't get in on the initial run, because they screen, however they do this, like one color at a time, and these things are made with love. And every 100% of if you bought one of the T-shirts or one of these hoodies, goes over the fence to provide a healing grant for a veteran, first responder, or their family member. So thank you for this. If you didn't get yours, we'll do another run again, because I'm a lot of people reaching out like, oh man, I did make the cutoff. We'll hook you up. So thank you for that. Let me get that out of the way. Now, I don't think I can remember like a more incredible, better week than what happened last week. Well, obviously the medicine experiences when I got married and the birth of my children. Let's get all of that out of the way. But man, last week was just epic. Let's knock out a debrief of everything that happened and what's going on moving forward. So Wednesday? So every, just like you should, once a year, airplanes, jets have to go through, it's called an annual. You got to do your annual inspection, right? Which is good. Let's go get the jet checked up just like your body. So it's up in Gadsden, Alabama. So dropped it off, like a month ago. It's like dropping a kid off at college, man. I was like really sad. Didn't get to fly for a month. So Matthew and I hopped on Southwest Airlines from Fort Lauderdale up to Orlando up to Birmingham. And then Sheldon, who runs Colorado Extreme with his beautiful bride, Katie, got his good friend, Jeff Posey, where we were going to park our jet out in Rifle, Colorado, said, hey, I have a buddy, David Upton. This guy, big businessman in Birmingham. He's a big Alabama booster. He's got a helicopter. Would you guys want to fly in a helicopter from Birmingham International up to Gadsden? Personally, I didn't want to. Helicopters creep me out, man. Way too many moving parts that all have to work 100% of the time, right? Just way too many moving parts. But anyway, so David, a Bell something, I don't even know. I don't know. But I let Matthew sit in the front since it creeps me out. And we threw all our trash in this helicopter, and we flew in this helicopter low level from Birmingham up to Gadsden. And then Matthew and I jumped in our No Fallen Heroes L39, and we four-legged it out to Aspen, out to Rifle, Colorado, man, just because it's the winter and you got wind in the face. So Matthew and I, Arkansas, Kansas, Southeast Colorado, and then into Rifle. I got to be honest with you, man. I never thought in my entire life that, because we've been skiing Aspen for 15 years, a long time, over a decade, a little Vail before that. And Susie got turned off from Vail, too many people. And she likes the four mountains of Aspen, all sorts of different stuff. I personally love Vail, if you don't like people, eject and go to the back bowls. Anyway, never thought, first of all, with my son in the back seat, I never thought I'd be flying past Aspen Mountain and Buttermilk and Highlands and Snowmass in our own fighter jet. So that was a pretty cool feeling. But landed in Rifle, and then let's go. The weekend was just absolutely incredible. Fundraiser Friday night at Catch Steak in Aspen downstairs. Our buddy Dustin Lynch was there. It was great to see Dustin again. Country music star, if you don't know, Dustin Lynch. And Sheldon and Katie just put on a great event. We got 3 donations for fighter jet flights at $20,000 a pop. That is awesome. Scotty or Sheldon and I are going to split that because Colorado Extreme provides, No Fallen Heroes provides healing grants to veterans, first responders, families to receive psychedelic assisted therapy and heal. Sheldon and Katie give grants and money to underprivileged children to start playing hockey. Just an incredible sport. It's a team sport. It's a family. It's so cool. So Sheldon with his rinks, I think they're expanding down to rifle to help even more kids to fall in love with this beautiful sport of hockey. Just what it was. So great fundraiser. And then the next night is the NHL alumni game versus the Colorado Avalanche alumni. So, man, the hockey greats were in town. Henrik Lundqvist, folks, the Henrik Lundqvist, the ambassador of Madison Square Garden, Hall of Fame goalie, just the Rangers legend, man. Nicest guy in the world was there. Scottie Upshall, Updog, played with a great. I only cared that he played for the Panthers. Obi, man, all these incredible hockey players. Right now I got to give a shout out to my brother Daniel Carcillo for essentially making all of this happen. Right, meeting Daniel 3 years ago. And just because I felt like I've known Carcillo my entire life, just one of the nicest human beings you're ever going to meet, leading with his heart and his truth. He's funny as shit, man. He's just a human guy, loves life. I just love that guy. And he kind of opened up the doors to the NHL. So not only are we healing our heroes, but we're healing these athletes, and it just absolutely fantastic. It made my heart smile to see so Susie flew in Friday to Denver and then got a rental car and drove up to Boulder and picked up our boy Jack. And of course, the 4.5 hour drive from CU to Aspen was a nightmare for them because a massive snowstorm came. It was great for us, Matthew snowboarding and everything like that, but them driving it sucked. So it was awesome because Jack hadn't met, Dustin Lynch when we were doing our flying down here. And it was just to see Matthew and Jack hanging out with these NHL superstars that they grew up watching. My heart was full of gratitude, and to be able to support veterans and first responders and these kids in hockey, it was a win-win. So Saturday, Scottie Upshall, man, you got to watch Missin Curfew, the Missin Curfew podcast with Updog and OB. Funny shit, man. First of all, they're hysterical. I haven't met a hockey player who isn't funny as shit, man. And check out especially check out Scotty's debrief on his most recent podcast about his flight. So he flew out, or he came out to rifle, and man, I threw him in back of the L-39, and we went up. Beautiful flying around Aspen, man, especially if there's not a cloud in the sky, and blue and mountains and snow. And he was a G monster, man. I did not take it easy on him. Full aerobatics, let him fly. Went down I love flying around the mountains, man, down through these canyons and in the middle of nowhere and seeing wild horses. And man, it was absolutely fantastic. And Scotty did great. He got a flight for his beautiful bride, Christina. So she's going to come down to South Florida and do it. She didn't knock it out in Aspen. And then after shut down the engines and here comes the town or black Suburban, out comes Hank Lundqvist, man, the Henrik. I was briefing Hank and could tell the guy was a little nervous. It's funny because the night before, I'm like, dude, taking you flying in the fighter jet tomorrow. He's like, I'm like, come on. He's like, well, let me call my heart doctor, because if some of you know, he had a heart issue and retired from hockey, and saw him later, and he's like, Whiz, talk to my heart doctor. I'm like, and he's like, he gave me the thumbs up. I'm like, let's go. So threw Hank in the back. It was about 4:00, sun starts setting, I don't know, 4:45 or something like that. So it could not have been more beautiful. Got airborne, and same thing I did with Scotty. Didn't take it easy on him, and he did fantastic. He flew it and everything like that. And once we're up there, I'm like, now that you're up here and everything's good, you're not as nervous, right? He's like, yeah, all right, this is beautiful. It's the most incredible. I forget. He said that was the most incredible thing I've done in my life, which just makes my heart smile. Kind of flew by the rink and where he was going to be playing in a little bit. And I'm like, oh shit, I got to get you back. So we landed and he got in his car and raced back there. And then I met Susie and Jack and Matthew rink side at Sheldon's rink, the Colorado Extreme rink. And man, watching these guys on the ice was just awesome. Hearing the chirping going on and seeing them play was just incredible. Great crowd of people in Aspen. I will be honest, did a little house hunting when I was out there. Jeff Posey, the guy whose hangar I was squatting in while I was out there, he's like, I said, I'm thinking I might buy another L39 and get a place out here. Just keep it out here to fly donors and raise money. He's like, done. I'll split it with you. So Jeff, I might take you up on this, man. Let's get another No Fallen Heroes L39. Keep it out on the West Coast. Is that the West Coast, Colorado? It's the Midwest, right? Close enough. So great time watching those guys play. There's an after party. I forget the name of the place in Aspen. Of course, Susie and I were burnt toast at that point, and Matthew and Jack went. And of course, my son Matthew's like, oh, I'm tired. I'm probably only go for an hour. I think I heard them get in at 1:30 or 2 in the morning. So, and Matthew and Jack didn't snowboard the next day or ski. So yeah, a little touch of the Irish flu. Absolutely fantastic weekend. Raised some good money for both charities. Met some incredible people, looked at houses. It just didn't, my heart was exploding with gratitude, not hate, gratitude. Painful getting home, man. 5 legs. When did we fly home? Thursday, whenever it was. Man, that was a long, long day. Rifle to liberal Kansas. Did you know there's a liberal Kansas? There is a liberal Kansas. I think we were the only thing in liberal Kansas we stopped to get gas. It was Kansas, Arkansas, Hattiesburg, Mississippi, Cross City, Florida, dark, Cross City to Pompano, Fort Lauderdale, dark. Hey man, I am way too old to be flying at night and on the instruments. And I don't like nighttime flying, but I'm complaining, right? Just full of gratitude for the mission, the people, everything that we experienced. Got back, Scottie and Obi on their podcast, on the Missin Curfew podcast, getting out the word about the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, their flight, Scottie's flight and our mission. And then the other night, sitting on the couch on TNT, right? NHL Face-Off. There's Hank. And he had a nice 2-minute segment on his flight with the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. So thank you, Hank, for that shout out, and it made my heart smile. So I texted him a thank you, and he said, "Hey, Whiz, yeah, man, I owe you. Can you come up and do my podcast up in downtown New York, man?" And he's like, "It's on the MSG channel, and go to Henrik Lundqvist podcast, man." So I'm blown away that Hank invited me up to do his podcast in February. Up in New York City, and I'm honored and humbled, and I would do that because, briefed Hank on our mission, and kind of like talking to Bobby Orr, the Bobby Orr that we're buddies with, when I brief him on the mission, and he's like, why, where's the Players Association, or why isn't this mainstream? Why aren't we, I love briefing the mission and then getting a look back, like, why isn't this being done right now? What do we need to do? I'm like, welcome to the fight. Welcome to the party. I feel like Bruce Willis and, welcome to the party, pal. So it really is about raising awareness, right? It really is about raising awareness. So Kyle Quincy, again, NHL superstar, Avalanche guy, owns a ranch in Colorado, and there were some Navy SEALs veterans sitting in ceremony Saturday, and I got the lat long for the ranch. We didn't have the time to make it happen, but I was going to go give the SEAL veterans a little close air support as they were sitting with the medicine on Saturday. So big shout out to Quince and Dr. Jeremy, everything that they're doing. Got a beautiful text from Quince about next year, 2024. I could not be more thrilled about what's coming this next year. I know I need to be present, namaste, and everything's awesome for today. But when I look at my whiteboard in my office and I'm coming up with my strategic plan for 2024, I'm in awe of the good things coming. I believe in the good things coming. Having a fundraiser, it's really interesting, man. And I'm working on my little speech for our No Fallen Heroes Christmas party and kind of get together and fundraiser. Let me lead with this. I'm awesome at everything, clearly, except asking people for money. It's just not my skill set. Well, let me fix it. I have no problem asking people for money for me to teach them how to trade options. Shameless plug. As of today, what's going on with that trade? I am up over 150% year to date. 152%. My personal portfolio that I trade is up over 152%. Absolutely unbelievable performance. Okay. Now, actually, I'm going to close this trade right now because it's looking pretty good. Let me go down to 40 cents here. Look at that. I'm podcasting and trading here. Cent. 100. So I'm good. Hey, you want to learn how to trade options? I'm a professional. I'll teach you. It's X amount of money. You get a service. You get something in exchange for that. I'm good about asking people to invest in our No Fallen Heroes documentary project, which ain't going to be a documentary. It's probably going to be a 6-part series, blah, blah, blah. People are like, yeah, that's a thing. I can invest in that. My Crew Doses, right? The joint venture between Maverick Mind, our Maverick Mind product, underneath No Fallen Heroes LLC and My Crew Doses. People can get behind that. It's supplements. I like taking Morning Brief or the Night Trap and all sorts of stuff like that. People jump to invest in those things. When I ask people to donate to provide healing grants to veterans or first responders or their families, I got to be honest, man, it really, not a lot of it has come. Get it? Bidenomics or things just ain't, and I get it, but what I'm trying to get to is what you receive in return for donating to No Fallen Heroes is so much more incredible than learning how to trade options or supplement company or the healing realty trust that many of you have invested in. You're potentially saving a life. You're potentially changing a life. The generational trauma, the hand grenade of trauma to those left behind from a suicide is you can't measure it. I don't like asking for money. I don't like beg. I certainly don't beg. I mean, it's interesting because at our party, I'm like, I'm not that guy. I got to be honest with you. I can't stand going to charity events when they kind of like put you on the spot. I like doing my alms in private, so to speak, right? So I will ask that as we get to the end of this year, we need a lot of help. We need a lot of help. We were budgeting $5-6 grand per veteran, per first responder, per family member to go to a retreat in Mexico or Costa Rica. You guys know, hit a big mission objective by doing our first healing retreat in Colorado and healing our heroes at home. We can cut that expense in half. Instead of going to Costa Rica, instead of going to Mexico, we can knock that down 2 for the price of 1. 2 for the price of 1. I think the last retreat, it was $3,200 per attendee. And that was to sit with psilocybin and 5-MeO DMT. If we don't do the 5-MeO DMT, it's even less than that. So and here's what I'm going to propose maybe for next year too, is if you're thinking about sitting with the medicine and you're a quote civilian, would you consider sponsoring? Would you consider going with a veteran or a first responder or a family member? I almost want to pair people up, because after you do a medicine experience, you literally are friends for life. You guys know, Marcus and JT, every time I sat with the medicine, those people are my best friends for the rest of eternity. How about that? Because you have this incredible shared experience. You are, you're going through it, man, and you're peeling back layers, and it's just one of the most incredible experiences you will ever experience. So maybe for next year, you're like, you know what? I do want to help out. Hell, I might even want to sit with the medicine. How about you sponsor it? How about you sponsor it? We'll tie you with a vet. We'll tie you with a first responder or family member. And so I do need your help because it doesn't scale. Top Gun Fighter Foundation, and we changed the name to No Fallen Heroes. Susie and I, my kids, we've been kind of stringing it along, but that doesn't scale. I mean, we could keep kind of stringing along, and I wouldn't have to ask people for money, which might actually make me feel better, but that doesn't work. When I look at the list of people requesting a grant, it grows by the day, folks. It grows by the day, the number of people seeking healing grants, and it hurts to see this. It hurts to see this because I see the healing potential of what we're doing. I see myself in a lot of these grant request forms or emails or texts or DMs on Instagram. Hey, Whiz, and boom, there's a paragraph, and I'm like, man. So I need your help. Even the $5, the $10, the $25, the $50 donations, folks, that adds up. It adds up. Now I'm keep looking at my phone. Hopefully, we're supposed to be getting Post Malone doing a video for us for the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. I am really, really, really excited for that. He's going to announce hey man, if you donate, I think it's $25 minimum, you will be put. We're going to have we're going to randomly pick you and a friend backstage hanging with Post, full access at one of his North American concerts. That's one prize. Another prize is you and three friends, so 4 total, lunch with Post at an undisclosed military location in Colorado. And then the third, last but not least, flight in a fighter jet, man. And if you're physically unable to do that, you can pick somebody else. You can gift it to somebody. How about that? So I don't want to pick a winner and they're like, I physically can't do it. If you want to give that to somebody else, we'll do something like that. How about, even if you can't donate to the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, do you know your company or a company? Because a lot of these companies, folks, have, it says it in their business charter or their SOP, or I don't know, that they have to give an annual X amount to charity, right? Some of these other big name veteran so-called nonprofits, and I use air quotes because if you're a quote veteran nonprofit and you make a shitload of money, quote running it, while you're also sitting on a shitload of money, I have a problem with you. I don't take a dime from we put money in. I have a couple day jobs, so this is kind of my full-time job, but I do not get paid a penny for it, nor do I want to be paid anything for it. My gift is greater. But a lot of these big veteran, quote, nonprofits that shall remain nameless have corporate sponsors. who write checks like it's water, like it's nothing. And it would be a lot to us. Okay. So do me a favor right now. Just, I don't know, pull out a pad and paper. Who do you know that could put the ladder down here at the No Fallen Heroes Foundation and potentially help? Do you know a company? Do you know anything? Because I'm racking my brain. And of course I was joking when I said I'm awesome at everything. I'm a little self-deprecating there. I need your help. That's it. That's plain and simple. I need help. Especially for 2024, when I'm coming up with the healing schedule and everything that we want to do, man. I can't do it on my own, and we definitely need help. So you can head to nofallenheroes.com to donate there, or just shoot me an email, man. Whiz, this company, or I know this person, or this is the way. Okay. So Whiz, WHIZ, at nofallenheroes.com. So if you could, just rack your brain and see how you can help. And, if you can't do any of these things, awareness is a help. Go to No Fallen Heroes on Instagram, repost our content, get the word out. It's so cool. I had my brother Brent, one of our recent grant recipients that was out in Colorado, like, hey man, I found you on Instagram, just kind of scrolling through. So you reposting some of our content is potentially life-saving and changing. So thank you if you can do that at a minimum, if you can help get the word of our content out. There was, that video of me from MAPS, we sponsored the Veterans Dinner, and, I was in the zone, man. And, I think that one's got over, it's close to just that brief clip of talking about being able to experience my sister Monica and my dad again. And close to 1 million people have seen that clip. And it's, this is how we do it. We get the word out. So if you can't help with a donation, or you just don't know a company that might be able to help, or any of that stuff, man, getting the word out, sharing this podcast, episode 7, ladies and gentlemen. I forget what episode we're on. 80s or something like that. So this has been awesome. I've loved doing this, but episode 7, I didn't know it would grow into this, but that is my first medicine debrief. That's the one. If the medicine is potentially calling to you, or you know somebody who might need some help, that's where I put them. That's the gateway drug, so to speak, is podcast episode 7 on Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcast, wherever cool kids listen to podcasts. You can listen to episode 7. Share that one. That one is cash money, man. I've listened to that one a couple times. So that's how you can help too. Spread this podcast. We have our YouTube channel. Need you to go to our YouTube channel, like, subscribe, do all that stuff. Share those videos. We really need to get the word out, because all it takes is one. All it takes is one person, one corporation, one big donor. And I don't have to have these type of podcasts where I'm sitting here sounding like I'm begging, but it is what it is. The world is the way it is right now. I keep telling people, I don't want to do this. I don't want the No Fallen Heroes Foundation to exist. It shouldn't exist. A nation that sends its young daughters and sons to war should take care of them when they get back, and we don't. We have the equivalent of a mass shooting every day in this country. You pick a number, 17, 22, 44. You pick a number of veterans that die on a daily basis. How about 1? But let's stick with the dated number from years ago, 17. It went up to 22, and then University of Alabama, Duke University, said it's closer to 44, but let's go with the default number. Could you imagine, breaking news, 17 people dead today in a shooting? Tomorrow, 17 people dead in a mass shooting. You can't imagine that, because what would happen? There would be such an outcry. We need to ban guns. Why? Because if it saves just one life, wouldn't it be worth it? Oh, really? Let me cut and paste that sentence to my mission. These medicines should be legal for therapeutic, didn't say recreational, therapeutic use. Why? Because if it would save just one life, wouldn't it be worth it? How come we don't hear our leaders talking like that? I do. Lead, follower, get out of the way. How many times have I told you all, this isn't from up down. This ain't coming from them down. It's we the people. Enough of us have to pick up pitchforks and our torches and say, hey, elected leader, quote unquote, fix this. Now, I think we got what we needed in the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. But again, you guys know me, man. It's almost rude. It's almost offensive. I forget how much money I'm like, our government spends $7 million a minute, and we got like a couple minutes of funding. One fucking tank that we sent to Ukraine could heal just about everybody on my list. Don't talk like that, Whiz. I was told by a congressman appropriator. Don't talk like that to an appropriator. Hey, fuckface. In this swamp, you can look at it as different pots of money. He told me it's a national security pot of money. I'm like, hey, dude, to me, outside this crap, it is one pot of money because it's mine. You took it out of my paycheck, man. You want to talk about it being a national security issue? How about the fact that I don't know a single veteran? I know a shitload of veterans. Not a single veteran wants their daughter or son to serve. You want to talk about a national security issue there, Chief? You can't make your recruiting goals. Why? Because guys like me tell their boys, I wouldn't do it. I'll love you. I do love you. I support you. Matthew, Jack, if you want to go in. I don't want you to. There are a lot of Americans running around right now, ain't worthy of your sacrifice. I don't think I've ever voiced that, but I just did. On Memorial Day, Veterans Day, all those type of days, thank you for your service. Every once in a while, I look at somebody and go, thank you for being an American worth serving for. That's pretty rare. What's going on in this country, the hate, the division, the politics, the media, we're spiraling out of control. We're in a nosedive in Max Afterburner, and we're on fire, man. You know that I believe the rise of these medicines is hopefully going to stop this descent. Something has to before it's too late. And I absolutely believe to my soul that it is this. It is these medicines. Some of you know old Whiz. Man, I'd be in the thick of this bullshit. Of the badness of everything going on. I'd be contributing to it. That dude died on the floor of a home in Mexico on a mattress. And I've never been better. But it also hurts to see all of this stuff. It's when you get a clean lens, when you get a scrubbing, and you see it's not a little depressing. It's a lot of depressing. But old me, instead of hitting the bottle or doing stupid shit when I'm depressed, now I'll go meditate. I'll go hit some hot yoga. I'll go walk on the beach. Go flying in the jet. Just like Ultraman, right? The blinking. I got to go back and touch the sun. But folks, something has to give. We can't keep going on like this. Can't stand. I'm so excited for next year, for 2024. When I was driving from Aspen to Rifle to fly home with Matthew, man, my phone blew up. Breaking news, MAPS. Rick Doblin, my brother Rick Doblin. What is MAPS? The Multidisciplinary Association of Psychedelic Science, a nonprofit of people leading with their heart and truth Rick Doblin trying for 30 years to get MDMA rescheduled for therapeutic use. Thank you, unelected bureaucrat in the Reagan administration in 1985 with the stroke of a pen who actually caused, I can't even tell you how many people, and let's focus on the good, but MAPS, breaking news, when I was driving to the airplane, they filed a formal application, a formal new drug application for MDMA for therapeutic use. Boom. What a God moment. Hey, what a God moment. Not that I want to talk about money, but did you see my psychedelic stocks this week that I told you to buy? Forget about it. Hey, man, if you can make money and save and change lives, giddy fucking up. If you did not get into these psychedelic stocks, now, do it now. Some of them, I mean, they all popped this week. I think I took profits on some of them, and I'm getting back in. That's how it works. Give me money, and I'll teach you how to trade options. So, MindMed, MNMD, Mike November, Mike Delta. Atai, ATAI, Compass Pathways, CMPS, or Cybin, CYBN. You buy those 4 stocks, I'm telling you, man, Big Pharma is watching all of these public psychedelic companies spend a shitload of money doing phase trials, phase 2 trials, phase 3, they're burning through a wad of cash to come up with a great healing product. And Big Pharma, Pfizer's going to walk in one day and go, wow, that's some nice work you did there. Here's a big freaking check and we own you. I don't want that to happen. As Whiz, I don't want that to happen. As Gordon Gecko, I bet that better happen because I'm going to print money. So how about you do that? Join Top Gun Options. I'll teach you all this stuff, how to trade. And then when you make enough money, you can throw a donation over the fence. See, it's a self-licking ice cream cone. So MAPS, and this is on my schedule, not my schedule. I asked Rick this, so I'm going to say he did this. He said I looked at him. I said, dude, come on, man. Give me a when. He's like, well, I thought it was going to be like, he's like middle of 23, I think. And he gave me with that twinkle in his eye. So I believe him. When, not if, MDMA is legal for therapeutic use, all bets are off. If you have no idea what MAPS is, I want you to Google MAPS, MAPS, phase 3 trials. I want you to read about the phase 3 trials. Don't listen to me. Well, you are going to listen to me for the next 2 minutes because the first phase 3 trial that MAPS did was people with horrible PTS. You got to drop the D. It's an injury, not a disorder. 67% of the people in the first MAPS phase 3 trial who were suffering from PTS showed no signs of PTS after the treatment. The therapy. 0. A lot of people have a problem with the word healed. Because I have been saying like 67% were healed. Well, let's delete the word healed if that makes you look sideways. 67% of the respondents showed no clinical signs of PTS. I don't know what the fuck you would call that. I'd call that healed. Guess what Rick did? And MAPS, they're like, folks, if it was 15%, or do you know what's the name of the PTS drug? Oh, it just flew out of my head. It's like 12% effective. And people are like, yeah, that's pretty good. I'm like, even if it was 25%, 30%, 50%, whatever effective, I'd be like, oh my God, that's great. It's better than the 12%, whatever the current PTS drug is. 67. You know what Rick did? Let's just double check. Let's go get harder cases. And this was like a double blind. They made it as hard as possible. The next phase 3 trial. Tougher cases. I'm not a booger eater, beaker stirrer with all this stuff. You go read it. I got to the summary slide that says 71%. 4 points higher than the first phase 3 trial. It's so frustrating to me because in 2017, the FDA gave MDMA, a lot of alphabet here. Breakthrough therapy status. Hey, FDA, what the fuck does breakthrough therapy mean to you? I'm a political science major from South Jersey. That kind of sounds like do something with it. Here we are 6 years later. Well, the FDA has 60 days to decide if they're going to fast track this application, which will take 6 months or 10 months if it's a standard review. A national slaughter every day, folks. Fucking move. Do something. Do your job. Namaste. Let me get centered. It's very frustrating to me. I don't even want to extrapolate backwards in time the number of lives that might be here had they had access to this therapy. Nell Sloan from CTG, Capital Trading Group, she found the No Fallen Heroes Foundation. She runs a futures firm in Chicago. She said, and her son Frankie, U.S. Marine, took his own life. So Whiz, had he or I known about the No Fallen Heroes Foundation, he would be here. That's why she's helping us out. So men and women at the FDA, or can I say, is that, I'm sorry, there's more than those two genders, clearly. Maybe in the Biden administration, I'm going to get in trouble for saying men and women of the FDA. Do your job. Do it quickly. MAPS has the data. They got the results. And it ain't 100%. There's negative. This ain't magic. You don't take MD. There's talk therapy. Listen, they've put in the fucking work, man. They've put in the work. Now do your job. It's a disgrace. Our founding fathers, if they be spinning in their graves, man. I need a license to fish or to get married? What the fuck? So, founding fathers, yeah, we believe this can heal people. Do it. No, you gotta get permission from the government. Benjamin, get my musket. But here we are. And again, I'm sure people give me shit for talking like this because there are other foundations and the founders wear really nice clothes and go kiss people's ass in Washington. And you do you, man. I'll be here with the people. I'll be here in retreat in Colorado. I'll be saving and changing lives. What's the worst thing they can do? What they're doing right now, which is nothing? Come on. Pull this leg and it plays Jingle Bells. So let's end on a high note, man. I'm full of gratitude. Love the FDA. Love the so-called veteran nonprofits who are anything but. Still love them. They have souls underneath those shells. I'm just going to keep on doing what we're doing, man. Mouth guard in, chin strap on, fucking right up the middle, man. Michigan football. Lead, follower, get out of the way. I'm looking forward to this time next year, December of 2024, sitting on this podcast, debriefing the fact that MDMA is legal, that Daniel, me, other folks have opened our healing retreat center in Oregon, that we've healed. We've given grants to X many of veterans and first responders and their families, using the great state of Colorado as one of our main retreat centers. I can't wait to be sitting here this time next year. God willing, I am sitting here next year, giving you a great debrief as today, with a heart full of gratitude. I know this is coming. I believe in the good things coming. We're going to get through this. We're going to power through this. Hopefully by this time next year, war is over in Europe, and God, please help the Palestinians and the Israeli people, man. Fucking Rodney King. Can't we all just get along? I'm telling you, I want to kidnap some of these people and throw them Mexico or Costa Rica for a weekend on Ibogaine. There would be no more war. I guarantee it. Maybe that's why these medicines are illegal, Whiz. These medicines can turn warriors into peacemakers. We can't have that. The military-industrial complex. Major General, whatever, Lieutenant General, Major General, Marine Corps, I forget his last name. Smedley, something like that. War is a racket. It is. And as long as these appropriators need our sons and daughters to go kill people in another country, it's going to What's the quote? Only the dead have seen the end of war. Well, with the rise of these medicines, I'm going to do all I can to help see the end of war. Heart full of gratitude. I got a lot of airspeed on this jet, man. I got a smile on my face and gratitude in my heart, and I'm looking forward to what's coming. If you can help, throw a couple shekels, throw your daily Starbucks allowance at the foundation for a month. That would be incredible. Rack your brain. I know of this company, that company, somebody. Rack your brain, man. Shoot me an email, whiz@nofallenheroes.com. Whiz, I can't donate, but I'm going to help in a different way. Or if you can't do either of those things, share our shit, man. YouTube, Instagram, get the word out of this podcast, the content, because just doing that can save one life, man. Again, Brent, dude, I was just scrolling through Instagram and found the foundation, and here I am. Different human being, a healed human being. So please, please, please help the No Fallen Heroes Foundation however you can. And hopefully, we will get to the point where I don't have to do this ever again, and it's a flywheel. Once that engine's turning, it's turning, and we don't have to do this again. But please, please, please help us get fully airborne and to cruise altitude, and we'll be good to go. Have a great rest of your day. Truly enjoy it. Hug, kiss your loved ones, your family, your friends. Happy hunting. Make sure you're hedged. Make sure you're along the psychedelic stocks. Fights on. Namaste. And Basi. Whiz out.